Hey, welcome, as today we're talking about instilling a love of learning in your children. I know that this can actually be a little hard, especially if you've never really loved learning yourself. I know some of us sort of had, the love of learning just sort of beaten out of us with just being forced to take tests and all these different things. And maybe we also want to get back to how we used to love learning when we were younger. I do think it's important that children do love to learn. And I think it's important that as parents, we really encourage our children to love to learn, even if it's something that we don't like ourselves. And so part of that, and you've heard me talking again and again and again about a supportive environment, and that is what we want. We want to have an environment where the kids feel that they can ask any question and that they're going to get an answer. We go through that phase of, but why, and all you want to do is pull out your hair. We need to answer those questions. And it's also okay to say, I don't know. And maybe you could research together, like actually taking that time, go to the library or look up online to try to find the answer. Because really, children are asking the questions because they are inquisitive, not because they want to be annoying, because they actually are seeking an answer. So when you can be a part of answering that, you're going to go a long way in helping them to really just boost in their learning. And it's also important to remember, learning's not just at school. I think we've gotten into this habit that, the teacher needs to teach, and that's where we learn. Learning happens everywhere. It's happening outside of the classroom. It happens in the home all the time. And this is a great place. The home is a safe place to be learning these things. It's also important to have your child to learn in a way that's good for them. Some of us are book learners. Some of us learn by seeing, by doing, by hearing, by touching, or, all of our senses. And so when we allow a child to explore in a way that's right for them, do you have a child that pulls everything apart? It's because they want to know. Allowing that to happen without that frustration. They're going to learn in a way that's different to you. And we're going to cover that later as we look at the different learning styles. But, just letting a child be themselves and letting you be yourself. You have permission to be yourself and to talk about why you like something or you don't like something when it comes to learning. What were your struggles and what were your joys at school? It's actually really good to be talking about this. And another thing to encourage is if they're interested in something, let them run with what they're interested in. What do they want to learn? Again, great opportunities for the library, for online. This is something that I actually encourage at my school, that we really look at what are some things that the children are interested in. And we do personal interest projects. And I'm not saying you need to do that at home, but what we do is we allow the child for the week to pick a topic that they want to learn. And they have time every day to research and to find out information. What they end up doing is pulling the information and putting together a presentation. But again, it's on something that they want to learn. And we've had some crazy topics, everything from conjoined twins to the tree of life. When we actually did famous historical characters, we did have Abraham Lincoln and we had Princess Diana. But these were people or things that the students were interested in. And we saw this excitement, this love of learning sort of come out of that. And so I encourage that at home. You're interested in horses, get books on horses. You're interested in cooking, well, cook together. Have fun with it. And, make it a family time, but just make it something that is fun. In this day and age, I really think that learning to type is important. I'm one of those people that actually I can't do cursive writing. We didn't learn cursive writing in Australia when I was through school. So I'm not a big believer in it, but I am a big believer in typing. And I really think that this is something that all children need to learn how to do. What I recommend for every family, because we have our computers at home, is to actually get our children to learn how to type. There are some great online free ones, but I also recommend the Disney ones, like there's the Timon and Pumbaa's Typing Adventures. There's a whole range of them, actually. They're not expensive, but they're games that really reinforce typing and getting them to use the right fingers. I'm actually a fairly fast typer, but I don't use the correct fingers. I would probably send somebody into shock if they saw how I cross over my hands. But we want our children to be able to, especially when they get into high school when everything needs to be typed, to be able to do it. So why not start now with some fun and with some activities? So check out like the Disney Typing Adventures or some of the free online ones and get your children typing, having fun with it. Maybe it's something that you could do together. I had a question about homework. This is from Terry, and her child is in 3rd grade, and she was saying that her child is getting so much homework that it is really taking them a good 2 hours at night to do. And her child is a good student. It's not that, it's just really hard and they can't do it. And so the question is, well, what can I do to talk to the teacher about the amount of homework? Well, this is where you do need to be a good advocate and to go to the teacher and to explain the situation. Say, look, it is taking us over 2 hours at night, and you know that my child is a good student. I think it is actually okay as a parent to say, look, I think realistically we can get this, this, and this done. But we also need downtime. We need family time. My child needs to go to bed at an appropriate time. You might get some backlash from some teachers, but I think that there are teachers out there that really do want to know that perhaps the work that they're giving, there is too much of it. A good communication and dialogue between you and your child's teacher is really important. And so don't be afraid to go to your teacher and say, I really do believe that there's too much homework. I'm not trying to get out of it. I want my child to do it. But is there any way that maybe she could do half of this, or maybe do this, or can we spread it out over a greater period of time? Be an advocate for your child. Talk to your teacher, because actually they really like it when they see that parents really do care. And thank you for listening. And if you really like us, please subscribe and let other people know. And again, if you have questions or topics that you would like to cover, please comment or shoot us a Facebook message, because we would love to be able to answer that. And once again, thank you so much for watching today.